Happy Friday. I have your solutions from Wednesday. Let me get it to where you can pause it or take a screenshot of it. Remember to check these and make sure you were doing everything right before you move on. Okay, get you next. Here's number 4 through 6. Let's get back. There you go. Okay. And we're still going to solve systems with elimination. We're gonna, there's just one small thing that's different on these. And if you look, I don't see anything that I'm gonna have to multiply both equations in order to get something to cancel out. So what I see, and sometimes like when you're checking your work, if you did it differently than I did, because you multiplied, you chose something different to multiply times, that's absolutely fine. As long as you're still getting the same solution, then you're fine. Okay, I'm going to choose the 3 and the 5. And I know that if I could make them both 15, then I could get them to cancel out. Okay, so I'm going to go for 15 x's to get them to cancel out. In order to make this one 15, I'm going to have to multiply times 5. And in order to make this one 15x, I'm going to have to multiply times 3. Okay, I'm going to draw a line here. And I'm sorry if it seems like I'm working backwards, but I'm right-handed, so I have to move this direction so I'm not standing in front of you. So on the first one, I'm going to rewrite it by multiplying everything times 5. So I've got 15x plus 9y equals 45. Okay, and then I've got 15x plus 12y equals 30. So I did what I wanted to do. I made both of my x's 15 so that I can cancel them out, so I can eliminate them. And to eliminate this one, I'm going to have to subtract. So if I subtract here, I'm going to have to subtract on all 3 of the terms. So 15x minus 15x cancels out, which is what I wanted. 9x minus 12, or 9y, sorry, minus 12y is negative 3y. And then 45 minus 30 is just 15. So when I divide by negative 3, I get y equals negative 5. Now, I'm going to go back to one of the original equations. It does not matter what you choose, but I've got to go back and put a y into one of these equations. I've got to go back and put a negative 5 in to figure out what x is. I'm going to just choose this original equation right here so that I can put my work right below it. So if I would have 5x plus 4 times negative 5 equals 10. So 5x minus 20 equals 10. I'm trying to stay out of your way so you can see. And then I'll have to add 20 to get it to move to the other side. And so I end up with 5x equals 30. And when I divide by 5, I get x equals 6. Oops, sorry. I'm sorry about the camera problems. So x equals 6. And then I'll write my ordered pair as 6, comma, negative 5. And put a box around it. Okay, I'm going to pause you. Okay, there's your next one. Go ahead and get that copied down. And remember, I'm trying to make something be able to cancel out, make something able to eliminate. And I'm just going to look at my x's since they're in front, and I see a 5 and a 7. Well, I know I could make that 35 and get it to cancel out. So if I'm going for 35 on the x's, I know I'm going to have to multiply this times 7, and I'm going to have to multiply this times 5. Okay, so let me draw a line, and I'm going to rewrite both of them by multiplying the entire equation. So I've got 35x plus 63y equals negative 70. And then I have 35x plus 50y equals negative 5. And then I have to ask myself, to get the 35x to cancel out, do I need to add or subtract? And I need to subtract. So I'm going to put a subtraction sign on all. 35x minus 35x cancels out. 63y minus 50y would be what? 13y. And then here I have the double negative signs, which is going to change the operation to addition. So negative 70 plus 5 would be what? Negative 65. And when I divide by 13, I get what? Negative 5. So y equals negative 5. Okay. And then remember, I've got to go back to, I'm just going to choose this one right here because it's convenient. And I'm going to put a negative 5 in for y. So I've got 7x plus 10 times negative 5 equals negative 1. And then I've just got to do a little work to solve this. So 7x minus 50 equals negative 1. I've got to add the 50. So I end up with 7x equals 49. And I know when I divide by 7, I'm going to get x equals 7. So I've got an x and a y to write as an ordered pair. So 7 comma negative 5. And there you go. We'll do one more problem together. So I'm going to pause. Okay, go ahead and get this one copied down. And remember, I'm looking for something that I could cancel out. And I see a 2 and a 5 here. I'm not going to worry about the negative just yet. But I see a 2 and a 5, and I know that I could make that 10. Okay, so I'm going to go for 10 in the x's. Okay, I know that I need to multiply this times 5. And I know that I need to multiply this times 2. Okay, we'll worry about the fact that we have a 10 and a negative 10 when we get it over here. Okay, so let's go ahead and rewrite these. Let's multiply them and rewrite them. So I've got 10x minus 30y equals 60. And then negative 10x plus 30y equals negative 60. So let's see what happens here. I need to decide, do I need to add or subtract these? If I have a, can you see that negative sign? Scoot you this, okay. If I have a 10x and a negative 10x, I'm going to have to add to get those to cancel out. So I'm going to have to add everything. Okay, so 10x plus negative 10x cancels out, which is what I want it to do. Now I've got negative 30y plus 30y, which also cancels out. And then I have 60 plus negative 60, which also cancels out. So in essence, I'm left with 0 equals 0 because everything canceled out. 0 equals 0 is true. So this has infinitely many solutions. Okay, and then we're done on that one. All right, it's Friday, so I'm just going to give you 3 problems. And then next week, we're going to start reviewing over some other things. Okay, we'll be done working on systems of equations for now. Okay, here are your 3 problems, just like these ones that we just did. Okay. So take a screenshot of that, copy it down. It's Friday, so you can send me these solutions by Sunday night if you want credit. And then on Monday, I'll show you the solutions for these. Have a great weekend, guys. I miss you.